In this session, I want to show you how you can make a dashboard for tracking your field installation. So at this point, you're looking at the Power BI template that comes with the Assemble integration with these four main pages. So I'm just going to build an additional page here that's dedicated towards field applications. So the first step that you're going to need to do is, since the installation status property is not in the grid data already, we're going to have to come to Edit Queries. And within Edit Queries, if you go to Available Properties and choose Columns, this is where all the other data that's not already in here is going to live. So everything that exists in your Revit file, your AutoCAD file, or whatever came over from Navisworks is going to be hosted in here. So I'm just going to do a shortcut and type Assemble Property. We differentiate what's an Assemble Property versus what's coming out of your authoring tool based off of this. And I'm going to look for my installation status here. So let me just type in installation status, and there we go. We can grab anything else that might be necessary in here. So I'm going to grab zone area. I went through and I associated, what objects were in whichever zone. I can also grab level. I'm going to grab system classification because I'm going to focus on mechanical for this one. And that's going to be a good start for me. So I'll grab these four properties, and that's going to be added to my grid data. So all I have to do now is just hit close and apply and wait for that data to load in. All right, so one thing that you're going to have to note is that if this is in available properties but not in grid data, you're going to have to hit the refresh button. All the data that you want to work with needs to be in grid data just because this doesn't actually have any information in it yet. So by hitting refresh, this is now going to connect with Assemble and then grab the most recent data that you've been working with. And by the way, all right, great. So now I'm going to open up a new page here, and I have a nice blank canvas. So I'm going to start off by grabbing a visualization here. So if you're not too familiar with Power BI, all you need to do is just click a visual and then satisfy the fields here. So for my axis, what I'm going to use for this is installation status. This way I'm going to see what's installed, what's not installed, what's delayed, or any other status that I might be associating with an Assemble. I'm going to put the legends as installation status. This way it actually colors my graph based off of those statuses. Last thing is going to be takeoff quantity. And what takeoff quantity is, it's the leading quantity that exists within Assemble. So you'll see, your duct and your pipe, that's going to be in linear feet. If you're going to have duct fittings, it's going to be in counts. So keep that in mind when you are looking at this. And right now, I've only put in statuses to my mechanical model. So this is going to report out every single model version and every single model you have. You can then come into model, and we can narrow this down by applying a page level filter just towards mechanical. So we still have some things that are blank here. And I'm going to go back to the overview page, and I'm just going to select this right here. And just by hitting Control C, I'm going to copy this visualization, and I'll bring it back over here to Control V. And if I look at what's blank, I see it's these detail items and the spaces. So one thing to note, Assemble by default is going to ignore detail items, furniture, rooms, spaces. So the next thing that I want to do is take these category names field right here, and I'm actually going to put this into, you could either do a report level filter or a page level filter. In this case, I'm going to do a report level filter, and I'm just going to filter out my detail items, my rooms, my spaces, and if there's any furniture in here, yeah, I'll take that out as well. All right, great. So now I don't have any blank statuses in there. So this is everything that I want to track, and all of my percentages are going to reflect that appropriately. Right now, this isn't actually reporting any numbers or percentages. So the first step I'm going to take is making sure this visualization is clicked. You're going to be working with a visual when it's bounded like this. So I'm going to come to the Format tool. I'm going to turn my data labels on. So now this is reporting the quantities there. And rather than reporting the quantity, I'm going to come to the value here, hit this drop down, and I'm going to show this value as a percentage of the grand total. So just like that, I pretty quickly know what percent I have installed. And when I click on what's installed, my inventory here is reporting out what those quantities are and what those objects are. So that is the basics. You can make this work a little bit more, if you want to put in some visual level filters. This is something that I like to do just to start analyzing different zones. So let me work with this one right now. I'm going to pull zone area into a visual level filter. And these are the zones that I associated within Assemble. So let me click on my crawl space. This is my percentage complete within the crawl space. And all I'm going to do is hit Control C again, then Control V. And then rather than working with the crawl space here, I'm going to work with level 1. And then I can continue to do this until I have a visual for every single zone. Or if you do have a lot of zones, you could use this visual right here, your 100% stacked column chart. With this, I can put in as my axis the zone area. And for my legend, I'm going to use my installation status. And for my values, once again, I'm going to pick my takeoff quantity. Same idea here, where we're going to come in here. We're going to turn our data labels on. And now we have the percentages for each zone. Once again, there are some blank items. It's these 2 wires right here. So just to make this a little bit easier, I'm actually going to put a visual level filter on this. And I'm going to look at everything except for something that has a blank zone. All right. Now, if you're not happy with the colors that you have within your dashboard, you can come to the Format tool again, and we can change these colors. So I'll make installed green. I'll make not installed red. Insulated, I'll do a purple. And delivered to site, I'm going to make this yellow. So you can continue to build this out. I'm actually going to get rid of this now. And I'm going to introduce you to the tool called Slicer. So a slicer is a really great tool for quickly filtering within a page. So if I put my category name in here, and I'm just going to hit this drop down here and make this a drop down. Now if I want to look at each category name, so say I just want to look at ducks, I can see exactly what that installation is for each zone. And then if I click in any zone, I know what ducks were not installed, what was installed. And if I drill down, I can keep on getting more information all the way from category to family to type. If you have your own cost codes, you could actually put your cost codes in here instead of reporting in this fashion, whatever's going to make the most sense for you. Please edit that cough out. All right. So other use cases that you could have for this, say instead of category name, you could put in assigned subcontractor, any property that you want to create and assemble, you can filter that down. That way you're only looking at, particular scopes of work that you want to look at. For example, system classification. I can flip through here and I can see these percentages for all of this and in a very quick fashion. Now, when it comes to actually maintaining this dashboard, once you set this up, you save this, and then people are out in the field, they're making any changes to it. All you have to do from now on is just hit this refresh button, and then this is going to refresh all the field data that has recently happened, and that's going to update that dashboard for you. So that's the basics of creating the installation status dashboard. And just to give you an idea of what my most common dashboard I use is, it's pretty similar to what we've been building here. Here's the same dashboard, just a little bit more cleaned up. Once again, broken down by zones, and then the installation for each of those zones, and then all the quantities for all the installation statuses here. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Hope you have a great day.